For years, there's been a sentence migrant victims of domestic abuse hear from their abuser, and it's not always shouted. Sometimes it's whispered, calm, almost casual. Leave me and you lose your visa. That sentence has been used as a weapon. Not a fist, not a slammed door, paperwork. And paperwork can trap someone just as effectively as a locked one. In September 2025, Ireland changed that. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changed, who it protects, and just as important, what it still doesn't fix. Here's the trap as it used to work. If your immigration permission in Ireland is tied to your spouse, your partner, or whoever sponsored your visa, leaving them didn't just mean leaving a relationship. It could mean leaving the country. So abusers knew it, and they used it. Immigration status became a control mechanism, arguably one of the most effective ones, because it didn't require violence to work. Just a threat. That's the exact problem Ireland's Department of Justice, Home Affairs and Migration set out to dismantle: domestic abuse concession scheme. This is called the Domestic Abuse Concession Scheme, and here's the core mechanic, broken into two parts. Part 1, independent permission. Anyone in Ireland who experiences domestic abuse, and whose immigration permission is linked to their abuser, can now apply directly to the Immigration Service for a separate, independent immigration permission, not tied to the abuser, not dependent on the relationship continuing, their own status, in their own name. Part 2, no fee. This is the part that doesn't get enough attention. Normally, when someone registers an immigration permission in Ireland, when they get their Irish residence permit, the IRP card, they have to pay a registration fee of €300. For someone who has just walked away from an abusive partner, possibly with no income, no savings they control, no support network, €300 isn't a fee. It's a locked door. Minister of State for Migration Colm Brophy signed the regulations that exempt survivors from that fee entirely. And the application for the independent permission itself? Already free. Registration fee drops from €300 to zero. So who actually qualifies? In plain terms, anyone whose right to remain in Ireland currently runs through another person, a spouse, a partner, a sponsor, and who is experiencing domestic abuse from that person. That's a wider group than people might assume. It's not just people on a specific spousal visa. It includes people whose entire legal foothold in the country exists because of the person hurting them. Moving on, here's the detail worth sitting with. The department has said these cases are handled sensitively by immigration officials, including, notably, for people who are still in the abusive relationship at the point they come forward. You do not have to have already left to start this process. Minister Brophy put it directly. People subjected to domestic abuse are particularly vulnerable because they're dependent on a partner sponsoring their immigration permission. Removing the fee removes one financial barrier to asking for help. Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan went further, making a point that's almost a mic drop in its simplicity. Sponsorship does not mean control. Let that sink in. Sponsorship does not mean control. That's the entire philosophy behind this policy in 8 words. Now, and this is where most coverage of this story stops. But we're not stopping here. A fee waiver is not a complete safety net, and advocacy groups have said so directly. DORAS, a migrant rights organization, welcomed the change but flagged something important. Removing this cost helps people leave sooner and more safely. But a fee waiver is only one piece. Survivors still need fast-track income support, safe accommodation, guaranteed interpreter access, and trauma-informed responses across the systems. In other words, this scheme removes a wall. It doesn't build the house on the other side of it. That's still a work in progress. If you or someone you know might need this, here's the process in plain steps. And one thing to be clear about first, these are 2 separate things you can do. You do not have to call the police to get the visa. They're not connected. For the visa, contact the Immigration Service. Ask about the separate independent immigration permission. The application costs nothing. If you get approved, the usual €300 fee for the residency card is waived too. You can do this even if you're still living with the person. Separately, if you choose to, you can also report the abuse to the police, on Garda Síochána. This is its own choice, on its own timeline. Reporting to police does not affect your visa application in any way. One does not require the other. Visa and police are separate paths. This fits into a wider pattern researchers have flagged in Ireland's labour migration system too. Separate reporting has shown a majority of general employment permit holders report experiencing workplace exploitation, with fear of losing their permit cited as the single biggest reason people don't speak up. Same root issue, same shape of trap, status tied to one person, fear keeping the other person silent. This scheme is one government's answer to one version of that problem. Whether it spreads, whether other countries follow, is the next chapter. If this kind of policy breakdown is useful to you, subscribe. We cover changes like this the moment they happen. And if you're watching this because it applies to you, or to someone you love, in Ireland you can contact Women's Aid's 24-hour helpline at 1800 341 900 or on Garda Síochána. You are not required to stay, and as of now, your visa is not the leash they told you it was. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for timely updates.